I was gonna say I'm here.
I did not see you. Like when you put, usually you put Minnow
Yeah,
on it and it'll say for me to accept. It didn't.
you were sucked into the football talk. That's what it was.
To bring you in doing that because I probably if I asked you a million football questions, you'd defer to me
I have
anyway.
no clue. Yep.
That's because you move around too much and you don't have a
Yes. I don't have a team. No.
anyway. I will stop talking football. I pulled Chris, you've got a lot that you put out. I'm going to go into it because actually I wrote some of it down because it was so prophetic that I thought people
Mm.
needed to hear, on this show too. And you've got people saying hello to you in chat. But
Hello. Yeah.
the one thing that I want to just tell everybody is please, I have a YouTube channel coming up and Chris
Mm-hmm.
helped me do that. And Chris has a YouTube channel, which you all please go to the YouTube channel. And when you watch our vids, because mine will start coming up, I think the middle to the end of September, I'm going to do monthly. So if you could just press the like button, it really helps all of us. And to find me, it's Bonnie Albers on air, and I'm in a Florida picture. I don't have anything but September, I think the third week in September, I'm going to start doing October readings.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be up. Now,
Yeah.
Chris, I pulled a card for you.
Okay.
But you've got a lot of stuff happening this week, and I'm going to give you a chance since I bloviated for the last 7 minutes. What is going on we need to know about before I show everybody what you put up?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is definitely the eclipse. So, the eclipse is next week on Tuesday. And so I actually don't know what post that was. That the eclipse post that you put up?
This one is the Pisces eclipse and the full harvest moon. But what I liked about it was what you said. So tell us about the eclipse first, and then I'll read you your.
Yeah, I mean, this eclipse, it's pretty important. It's the first in a set of eclipses in Pisces. So we'll have the next one on September 7th of next year. And then in August 28th of 2026 will be the last Pisces eclipse for a long time. And so it's a pretty important time. I've been preaching this for like, I don't know, 6 years now, that people should be working on their dreams because of Neptune and Pisces. But this set of eclipses is rounding out that Neptune and Pisces energy. So I think people will feel, stronger emotions towards a dream that they have during the times of the eclipses. And again, there's one every fall for the next 3 years in Pisces. So it's kind of like stronger and stronger and stronger as we go along. So it's basically saying like, get moving on your dream now. And like, I would start now. Don't wait until August the 28th of 2026. And that's what I think people should do.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think you hijacked it because you're a Pisces.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
all the dreams, wishes, and desires, and all the rest of us are going to suck wind until it hits our. But I'm kidding. Do you know why? I mean, is there any reason that for the next what did you say, 3 years or 3 times that it's in Pisces? Is it a? Go ahead.
Usually we have sets of eclipses, like we have cycles, like we had Scorpio last time, Taurus and Scorpio or whatever it was. We'll have another Libra eclipse coming up, and there was like several Libra eclipses. I think the next one is Gemini, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know after 2026 what it is, but this is technically Pisces Virgo, even though we have like this, the one after this Pisces one, I'm pretty sure is Libra. Then the next one we have will be like Virgo something, because we have, eclipses at the beginning and, pretty much the end of the year. And so this one I think is Pisces Virgo.
Well, you know what? I was listening to a few things and it said that I think it's today, and I'm not quite sure it's today. I feel it's today. I hope it's not next Monday, but you can tell. You've got Sun opposite Saturn, and it happens once a year.
Yeah, that's today. I'm feeling it for sure.
And it's a big one. And so would you please describe how you feel that affects everybody, and if it's in different signs, how it affects you? We can do the signs too with that.
Yeah, I mean, Saturn is like putting in the work, and Saturn is also retrograde right now. And so like today, I feel like it's a Mercury retrograde. I had a glitch on YouTube with my YouTube videos. And then I went to Instagram. I saw someone else who also posts videos. They had a glitch with their like scheduling system or something like that. And so it can bring up this, kind of like retrograde type energy. And I think that it can also, I think the way people are feeling this time is that they are running out of time. Saturn is time, or rules time. And so I think a lot of people, especially even after today, because it is going to move off. Like right now, looking at the chart right now, it's basically exact. It's dead on it's dead on opposition almost. It's like off by 2 degrees or whatever, which is, might as well be dead on. And but so I think now people are feeling like, oh my God, I'm out of time, or I'm too old to do this, I'm too young to do that. So like a lot of these issues with time.
That is crazy. And, and I think about it, like affected me, like it only happens once a year. So it's a pretty big thing. And when I think of the sun and it's opposing Saturn, whenever I hear the word Saturn, I go, oh, because it's time. It's a taskmaster. It's
Right.
other time. And that to me, says that, you have to evaluate, like you're looking at the sun, which is big and bright and happy and what you're supposed to do, and then you've got Saturn. I look and say, okay, what? Because it's too weighty for me. So what is it telling you? It's telling you that whatever that shines the light on what you want, you need to really either put the work in, like you say, or really evaluate, is that what you want? And if that is what you want, you might have to, be patient just a little bit longer, because there's something that you have to look at that needs to be still done, which is the taskmaster. So I love that. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think with Saturn, especially right now in Pisces, you're either going to do the work or you're not. And that is your answer. Like if you don't want to do the work, you probably really don't want to be doing what you think you want to be doing. If you do the work during this time, then you actually do want to do, then you actually probably do want it. So I think people need to like not lie to themselves. Sometimes with Saturn, we'll lie to ourselves. We'll say, oh, I really want to do this hard thing. Or, I want to create this business or whatever. But when it gets down to it, what you'll realize through Saturn is maybe like what you think you want to do is takes up too much time or it takes too much effort. And, it's only through going through the experience that you realize that. And then that can free you up to do something else that's better, that's different, that's whatever.
I love that. But to just tell you this, Chris, I think, God, we have a year. Is it a year till we see, or a year that it's going to take to develop, or a year that we have? No. So that's what I want people to know. How long, even though the taskmaster is sitting there with the sun, how long is it going to take us to start manifesting what we want?
Yeah, I say, some people might disagree with this, but I say Saturn is immediate if you do the work. So if you're doing the work, you will get immediate results. Like for example, I have Saturn, my natal Saturn is squaring Saturn in my natal sign, Pisces right now. And, it's considered very challenging. So nothing I've been working on for the past like 2 years has been working. Like I constantly have to go back to the drawing board and constantly have to like reinvent things. Even my startup, I had to hire 2 different people. And now I'm on my 3rd person, my brother, finally, to get it, all built out and working. Everything, a lot of the things that I've put together for that aren't working and, or haven't worked. I've had to reinvent them. But each time, like I find myself simplifying things, making them easier, less complicated, and it's just easier. So I think that really, we're in a time of simplification.
I love that. And by the way, I think it was me, but it could have not been, but I'll take it.
It was you. It was Bonnie, for sure.
Because I told you your brother would be doing your work. So maybe you should listen a little, just a bit.
I should listen to you. That's true.
No, just like my kids, which you are. You're my daughter's age, and my daughter just adores you. And my son, you're in between my daughter and son. Actually, I think you're Lauren's age, and Arthur's age. You're a few years older, but they never listen to me. But you do. I'm only kidding.
I do. Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I did pull a card for you, and then we'll get into our cards. But so before that, how do you feel about what's going on in September? Like then we have, this is what you put in, and this is what I wanted to discuss. Actually, you said the 17th is Pisces eclipse and full harvest supermoon. What grabbed me about that, Chris, in your words, were there has never been a better time in history to manifest your biggest dreams. I'm a dream girl, so I love that. Tell us what the 17th, why, when, and where, and what we should all be doing.
Yeah, like I said, the Neptune and Pisces and Saturn and Pisces with the eclipse. Neptune and Pisces, I always say, is a big crazy ass dream. Saturn says get to work. If you put the work in, you will manifest it. So I encourage people, I love Les Brown, and he says it's better to aim high and miss than it is to aim low and hit. And so he encourages going for that 1000x dream, because you never know. Even if you only get 10 times better than what you originally wanted, that's 10 times better than what you originally wanted. And that's the time we're in. And so we have like, pretty much 3 years to really get to work on whatever that is for you.
I love that. I pulled a card for you. So it's very interesting. We had to talk about all this. But from my new deck, and I don't have a picture with it, but I'm sure April does. But I pulled this for you, which just killed me. But it says, because I know it, April, for you, Chris, it says prosperity abounds. So you know what that means prosperity, whether you have it or not, is coming. And I believe it's with everything that you have looking to bring to us, which I hope when you do that you know share with us on the show. I know
Of course.
you're working on some things. And then I pulled some cards, and then we can go into the different stuff. For I think we should do maybe for pulling the cards for maybe what's happening today, which is
yeah.
the sun and Saturn, and we can pull with that for each sign to tell them what they need to do. So I pulled 2 cards for the collective, and the first is really crazy. It's from my deck, and it says love is in the air of all kinds. So that just doesn't mean, which I love the whole idea of manifestation. So if you want love, this is the month to do, to put it out. If you want love of a job, if you want something you love better than where you are, or you want to make the job that you have just you love it and you just want to make it even more lucrative, you have that idea. And of all kinds, it could be love of your family, love of your pets, it could be love of anything. This month is going to be what you should put forward or manifest, because love is the best thing we can manifest of everything. And then the card that I pulled from my flower deck actually matches it. And it says, share the message of love. I mean, the deck is pretty thick. And it says, rivers of love flow within you, and others may benefit from the healing energy. And you know how I feel about you, Chris. I feel you are the healing energy. You heal people almost on a daily basis, because you put out so many videos and so many podcasts you do, and you're always bringing the message to people to help them better their lives in whatever way. So can you pull a card?
I did pull 2 cards. Sun and 9 of Pentacles. Can't make that up. So 9 of Pentacles is heaven on earth, and the sun would be the sun, the best card in the tarot deck. And the sun is your attention. That's the other thing that I didn't really say, is that I think we're in a time of heightened attention. Our attention is like trying to get our attention on things that really will matter, not the things that won't matter. So we have to pay attention to the sun. It's like a spotlight in our life, and we have to move towards wherever the sun is shining, so that we can create the 9 of Pentacles, heaven on earth.
I love that. And heaven, which is where the sun is, I'm assuming, and earthly is where what we're in right now, which is Virgo season. I mean, how better and apropos is everything that is coming up right now. How do you feel? I know you love Virgo, but how do you feel about Virgo season in general? When you think of Virgo season, what does that spark?
I love Virgo. I'm not a big fall person. I don't like fall. I don't like the entry into fall, right? It's getting darker, it's getting colder, and I don't like that. So I don't like the entry into fall and into Virgo season for the most part. And plus I'm a Pisces, so I prefer to be in the dream world, and Virgo is very all about realism, being in the real world and doing real world things. So I think that's why I don't like it. But usually around the middle of September, I kind of warm up to it and I get used to it.
I feel the same way. I'm just scrolling because now all my stuff is stuck. The thing is that for me, Virgos are weighty, because I'm the same way. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a water sign, and I prefer to be in a dream world too, and I prefer to be in the heat. But I have a lot of Virgo people around me, and without Virgo people, I don't think I would be able to. I wouldn't be tethered here, because I would be in the dream world, never coming down. So I agree with you. I think I start to love fall when it hits about probably Libra season, which is October. And then I'm used to it already. But for all you Virgos out there, man, you bring us down to earth. You bring the earth to us. You bring everything that the earth has for us. And I love that. So for all you Virgos, we do love you out there. Okay, well, do you want to, so go ahead. I don't know if I let you.
Yeah. Are we going to Aries?
We're going to go to Aries.
Aries, you have the Eight of Swords. I would ignore today, Aries, just in general, the rest of today. I know today is almost over, but I would say ignore today. I would ignore tomorrow too. Sun moves to 18 degrees tomorrow. 18 degrees is, the degree of the devil. So I would say that, tomorrow maybe you might be feeling in this trapped space, but it's probably not even real for the most part. It's probably just mental. And so Eight of Swords, there's a million solutions. She's only focused on one. And the Eight of Swords says, focus on all the solutions, not just your problem that's right in front of you, or only one solution to a problem.
I love that. And guess what? I pulled the uplift your thoughts with
Yeah.
that. You're looking at, oh my gosh, you have to uplift your thoughts if you're all tied up, bounded, and have all kinds of stuff around you. Uplift your thoughts, pull yourself out of it, and you're going to walk straight for your future.
Love it.
So, yeah, I do too.
Taurus, you have the King of Cups. I actually feel things are probably going pretty good for you, Taurus. Taurus, this is about like exploring your emotions. He's in the deep ocean. He has explored his emotions to a deep level. And it just says, explore your emotions, explore how you feel about things. We just talked about the Pisces eclipse. That would be a good thing for you to do as well. Like see where your emotions are guiding you.
I love that. I'm going to pull up a card from my new deck. And it says, big changes are coming your way, Taurus. Big changes are coming your way. So I absolutely love that. See what happens. I do believe that Taurus is another earth sign. I think it's all the earth signs this year. Was it that have a lot of things coming their way? I think you said that about Taurus the last time.
Yeah, and there's still Uranus in Taurus. It's retrograding at the end of Taurus. It'll be there till basically the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, somewhere around there. And there is a lot of energy lining up in with Uranus, and I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have a grand trine between, or there's something going on with Saturn, Pluto, and also Uranus in the future. So
it's not far, I don't think. But I love the big changes for you, Taurus, because with changes comes fabulous things, and big changes. For me, it's bringing a smile to my face. So when I think about it, it's going to be fabulous changes. And you're going to look at this and say, wow, I can't believe that, that this has actually happened. Okay. So, and I want to tell you, somebody just said, is it Aaron that Aaron said that he is I shouldn't really I think he said he is a Virgo. Well, that's okay. We still love
Gemini, you have the Four of Pentacles. Gemini is definitely focused on stability. So, I think Gemini, you have a big focus on creating more stability in your life. I go back and forth on the Four of Pentacles. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. And but I feel like it's pretty good for you. For Gemini, I think you're just creating more stability, financial stability.
I love that. I think you were the one that convinced me that the Four of Pentacles, I always looked at it and said it was the miser card. But then I think you described it one time, and I loved it as, one of the pentacles is over their heart.
Yeah.
So it was more or less that you're like hiding your heart from what you really want to do. So I remember it. Well, I don't know if that was the exact wording you had, but it was something like that, and it actually helped me read the Four of Pentacles a lot better. But I pulled for you unity. Okay. So this is a time to be united. You're spiritually connected to everyone through the universe. Use the sacred bond to heal your family, friends, and yourself. I love the card. Go ahead.
Cancer, you have the Two of Wands. You always get the Two of Wands nowadays. So like the past 20 readings that I've done for you, you've had this card. And Two of Wands about taking the lead on something you want. He's got the whole world in his hands. He just has to leave a comfort zone to get whatever it is that he wants. So I feel like it is definitely time for Cancer to get out into the world, take a risk, something like that.
Can you keep that card up, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the card I pulled. This is from my new deck, and it says up, up, and away. If you look at the card, he's looking away. He's looking out at his future, correct? He's looking out. Yeah, so up, up, and away. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's look at some other alternatives. Let's look and go forward.
I like it. Leo, you have the Three of Wands. Leo is expanding at this time and, going through expansion, like in 3 years, something like that, Leo, or 2 and 3/4 years, you will have Jupiter in your sign. So I would prepare for all that expansion. And yeah, I think a lot of Leos need to realize that they're not done yet. Like I even feel for Leos that think that they're going to retire, for example, that they're going to do more with their life. And even if you're not going to retire, you're going to do more than you're doing right now. But yeah, I think Leos need to realize that you're like moving on to another stage.
I love that. And Leo, you got past life healing. Well, I love past lives. I'm a past life girl. Maybe I'm living in the past, and that's why I can't figure out the future. So at least I could do it for everybody else but me. It says, this situation has been triggered by one of your past lives. Heal the past, and you're bringing healing into the present. Well, I have to tell you, that's where you have your 2.5 years, because when you get, what is it that's coming?
Yeah, Jupiter. It'll be like 2 3/4, something like that. Yeah.
Everything you do right now, Jupiter is going to magnify. It's one of the best planets you can have. It's going to expand your knowledge, expand everything, expand your wealth, expand your love, expand everything. And so you've got about 2.5 years to come to grips with your past life.
Mm-hmm. Virgo, Mercury at 0 degrees of your sign today, and so Mercury is moving back into your sign. I would think back before the retrograde happened, like basically before August, and I would think about what were you thinking about doing, and like now's your chance to do it, to take that leap of faith. So yeah, it's like Mercury is coming back home.
You know, of all, again, 60 cards that I could pick for Virgo, it is the same card I picked for Virgo. Love is in the air of all kinds. So there's in the air, Virgo. For all you single people that are out there, I'm going to go through the different ones, but for all you single people out there, I think there might be some love coming your way. Again, you can't sit home and think about it and want love. Why didn't you, Bonnie? You told me you were going to get love and you didn't. You have to do something to get it. And Chris knows what I'm going to tell everybody. Find it. And then if you're attached, love is in the air, and that doesn't mean that you have to look for new love. It means that you can renew, you can show love. Here's a good example. Somebody in my family, and I won't say it was, they were going to come to me for Thanksgiving and leave their spouse, and the spouse didn't want them to leave. And they said, no, I want to go home. And then they thought, and they said, no, I'm going to stay home. And so they told that person, and he was so happy that it renewed their faith in, we do have, that love is just always about us. So you can renew your faith in love. You can actually do something you love with the person you love. And the other thing is, it doesn't just have to be a spouse or a boyfriend or a friend or a girlfriend. It can be your pet. It can be your friends. So go ahead.
Libra, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Another card that you always get with me, Libra. Queen of Pentacles, about being resourceful. Should be a pretty good time for you. I mean, Venus is in your sign, so your ruling planet. And so, definitely a good time to look at your resources in like a month or so. It'll be in your second. So really good for money. And, I would just be resourceful if I were a Libra.
I got to tell you, Chris, about Libra before I pulled the card up. And I love that, Venus is, the goddess of love. Love that. And so, and then you have the scales of justice, which, they're always balancing. But I have to ask you a question. Did you know that there's certain signs that have certain characteristics like associated with them?
Yes.
So do you know which one is for Libra? If I'm correct, and that's why I'm asking you, I think it's that they have some kind of scar either on their neck or their head.
I've never heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So everyone that's Libra out there, let me know, put it in there. But when we looked at it, back when my daughter was dating and not married, she was dating a Libra, and sure enough, he had a scar on his neck from foot. So I'm going to look it up and make sure I'm telling you everything that's right. I do know that Aries, it's within the head, and I think Libra is within the neck. So, okay. I just thought that's fascinating.
Yeah, that is fascinating. Yeah.
And where are we now, Chris?
Wait, you have to do Libra. Don't skip Libra. Or if you skip Libra, I get comments.
That's right. I love Libra, so if I skip Libra, I'm really hurting myself.
Right.
And Libra. So I pulled one of the prettiest cards in the deck for you because, of course, you're all about Venus, which is beauty. And it's patience. It says, your prayers have been heard and they are being answered. So that, some people think, well, I asked for it, I prayed for it, and I don't see anything coming. Well, sometimes it just takes a little time. It has to manifest. So Be patient, Libra. It is coming your way. Your angels have heard you.
Scorpio, you have the Queen of Wands, very attractive at this time. Your reading this morning I did for you for next week was all about love. So if you want love, get out there, of course. But Queen of Wands is about like taking a risk without knowing if something's going to work or not. She is the only Wands court card with no salamanders, no protection from fire. And so she has to learn as she goes. And that's what I'm getting for Libra, if you're, or Scorpio, sorry. If you're doing something, you're going to have to learn as you go.
Wait, I need you to explain that. She doesn't have any what
Yeah,
around?
she's the only Wands court card that doesn't have any salamanders, you know, the little lizards that are normally on the Wands court cards, and they represent protection from fire. And so she's the only one that isn't protected from risk.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I am just amazed at you. I can't understand. We all have to take your course. If you haven't taken his beginning course put out, we need to all take his master course, which I know he has up. That is really cool, and I love that. But I have to tell you, isn't that crazy that I had 2 love cards for the month of September?
That is it is a good month for love. So yeah, and especially, I mean, not to go off on a tangent, but I mean today Jupiter trine Venus as well. So it doesn't really even matter, you know, what if you're a Scorpio or Libra or not. I think that this is, you know, just good energy for love in general.
I love that. And this is such a Scorpio card. And when I pull it, I almost want to say, can I put it back? But I can't, because I love the card that I know Scorpio is going to understand. It says, what Scorpio, and this is from my deck, what glitters isn't always gold. So just be careful what you put forward, because it might look shiny, it might look great, it might look like it's the most wonderful thing, but you've got to make sure that's exactly what it is. And that's my, you know, especially in love, which is what you're saying. So be careful, you know, in love, that who you're going to give all of your attention to really deserves.
Sag, you have the Lovers, so more love coming in here. I do feel like there could be love coming in for Sagittarius as well. Most of that stuff, well, at least Jupiter, you know, opposes you, is in your opposite sign. So that could definitely be expanding love. If you don't want love, it's a great time for you to make choices. So the Lovers is a card of kind of like picking the new path, and a lot of you could be doing that.
Again, love for the month of September. And that was the cards that I pulled. That is crazy. And this is, I love this for you, Sag. And I see there's some Sages out here, and I'm a Sag rising. It says, your wishes are coming true. What your heart has been longing for is getting closer each day. So I love this for all you Sages out there. It is time, whether it's business, whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's love, it's coming really close.
Capricorn, you also have love. You have the 6 of Cups. So 6 of Cups is like a soulmate or a childlike connection, something very playful, fun. I also do feel for Capricorn, though. You know, this card to me is a clue card, and it's a clue for a turnaround happening in your life. So even if you don't want love, and even if you do, really good for overcoming obstacles. And yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. You've been experiencing obstacles for a long time, and so a lot of you could just like signal more happiness, more joy coming in for you.
Can you explain that card? You know, that's another one that trips me up.
Yeah.
Does it trip you? I don't think there's any cards that trip you up, because you no. But can you please explain that card? I usually, when I pull it out, I think, oh, okay, how am I going to read it? Usually it's intuitive, of course, but I look at it and say, is it childhood? Is it somebody from your childhood? Is it, so it just, sometimes some of them, like I get my messages from above, like the deck said. So it's intuitive. But when I look at that card, some of that throws me off. Tell me how you interpret that card, or tell all of us.
I mean, like the traditional way is that these 2 children are right here, and they're being guarded by a guard that's like right back here, and they're also inside these castle walls. So it represents like protecting, you know, protecting its innocence and nostalgia. It's like protecting innocence, or thinking about things from the past, and kind of like protecting those thoughts of the past. A lot of people read it as like an ex coming back, but really it doesn't represent that. It's really just about thinking about the past and those thought. But, you know, again, when we think about the past, sometimes we think about it with rose-colored glasses, right? We think about maybe, you know, even a past connection. We think about the good things, or we think we want to go back to the past, but really we're just looking at it from that like more childlike perspective. We're not looking at all the things that actually happened in the situation. So that's, why it can represent the past. And it can also say we're trying to protect something from the past, like a thought, what something we've been through or whatever. That's
I
that.
love that.
Yeah.
So I pulled my card and it says, smile. It releases endorphins and it encourages others and yourself. So when I see the smile card, I think, how am I going to interpret that for people? But really, it's almost not for yourself. It's for other people. It's smile, even if you're not feeling that, everything's perfect. The reason is that it does release endorphins in your head. So you might feel better. And two is somebody might be having a worse day than you. And when you smile at them, you don't know that you hear many stories about that somebody was walking down contemplating doing something to themselves, and all of a sudden somebody just looked up and smiled, and they smiled back, and they really got, they liked humanity better. They realized that there are people that are good in the world. So you don't know what you can do with a smile, but I do know that when you smile, it does do something to other people. It makes them smile back a lot of times, and that is endorphin releasing, and that's better than any drug you could take, except maybe that I don't drink. Okay.
Aquarius, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands about going on an adventure, Aquarius. So I think it's an amazing time for Aquarius to go on an adventure, get out into the world, go, variety is the spice of life. I always say this to Aquarius, and I think this is saying, be flexible, do something spontaneous, do something fun.
I love that. And then, here I just pulled a smile out of my deck, and out of the flower therapy, laughter. So, and I always gets me about laughter, but I love the color yellow. So to me, that's the sun. And that means everything bright is coming. And it says, uplift your thoughts and uplift yourself and those around you through laughter. Same thing as a smile. I don't know, you can just walk down the street and laugh. People think you're crazy and call the laughter police. But if you just something, just smile. I mean, laughter, if you are in a group and you want to laugh, go ahead. It's usually contagious, kind of like the hiccups. But what I love is I love the color yellow, and that means to me that the sun is coming out for you. So just enjoy it.
Pisces, you have the Three of Cups, so celebration time. It is, I definitely feel this Pisces eclipse is going to be good for Pisces, even though, today we're talking about Sun opposite Saturn. But this could also represent getting help from other people, or if you're feeling off today and tomorrow, that then you should ask for help, and that there are plenty of people who want to lift you up and support you. And that's what I would be focusing on with the Three of Cups, is like your close connections.
I love the Three of Cups. And, I pulled the friendship card. I thought, you know what? I don't want to pull the friendship card because I don't know why. And I pulled another card with what you just pulled.
What is the friendship card? Yeah.
Yes. But the next card that I pulled out, and I don't know why I put the friendship card back. Somebody, Spirit said, pull another card. So I would have read the friendship card with you, but for you, Pisces, I put time to decide. And that's, to me, a better card when I looked at the both of them. And it said, make a decision now so you can move forward. And I feel like for Pisces, that's a good idea. You're the old men of the Zodiac or the old women of the Zodiac, and you seem to deeply think. And it's time, obviously there's some things you are on your mind and that you need to think about, but you also have to make a decision to move forward. Because if you don't make a decision and you're on the fence, then you don't move forward at all. Then even if it's the wrong decision and it's the wrong decision, you can learn by it. And if it's the right decision, you move forward. But if you just don't decide, you're in an inertia. So it's time to decide, Pisces. And we are absolutely through with the Zodiac. I want to bring up, before we're going to go into questions, so everybody please put your questions. But before we do, Chris, there's something I want to talk to you about. I want to tell everybody, they were asking me about the UFOs and David Campione. I'm not home to show you the book, but as soon as I get home, everyone, I'll pull
Yes.
And I'll let you know. Maybe, I hope he's, I think he was 70 something when I interviewed him, and I'm only hoping he's still alive, because I'm going to try to get him back on the show. And I want you to join us, Chris.
I would love to
enjoy it. And then I also had, I'm going to bring back, if everybody is interested in, they wrote the book, Children of Area 50, what is it, 52?
Oh, 51.
Yeah, 51. And it's a book you can all look up. and I had one of them on. Both of them were supposed to come on, and I think the one got sick, and I think it was the other one came on. It was very interesting, and how things really aren't there anymore, and what happened with the kids there, and they were living it. So the UFO thing, I am going to bring back, and I would love you to join me. You know,
yeah, I would love to.
The other thing I want to talk to you about is there was a fireman that I interviewed, and I really, really liked him. I didn't want to put him on because I was not really like I wanted to put him on, but I thought, oh my God, how do I bring this to the audience? I'm just not sure what I think. And it was with Bigfoot.
Yes.
And after really interviewing him, to me, changed my mind. And I'm thinking about, he's probably the most knowledgeable. His name is, I have it, Glenn Atkins. And he's one of the biggest knowledgeable, you know, people out there, especially being a fireman, and having the credibility behind him that he had. He goes hunts for it all the time, and I haven't had him on in like 6 years. I would love to put him back on. How do you feel before we actually go into, I just, you know, I like throwing different things out on my show. How do you feel about Bigfoot? And all the audience, please let me know if you would like me to bring him on.
Yeah, I love Bigfoot. That's why I moved to Washington, is to, you know, to look for Bigfoot. So I'm a big believer, and yeah, I love Bigfoot.
Well, I have a small foot. So
you didn't know that?
No, I had an inkling of it because I think when I was saying that to April that I could have this guy on, she said, "Oh, Chris will love it." But so, what do you feel, and why are you so passionate about it?
Because like so many people have like the same story in seeing Bigfoot, and so many people have seen it. So that's why I like it.
Well, do you think that's anything like the Loch Ness monster?
Yes and no. So I think it's, but I think like not as many people see the Loch Ness monster. Not as many people have, claimed to see it.
So, you know what? My daughter saw it.
Oh, did she?
And she never said anything to anybody because
of course.
But she swears that it's out there, and that's kind of why at the time I brought on Glenn Atkins, because I felt like, wow, if that's out there, maybe there is Bigfoot. But where do you think Bigfoot, I mean, you would think that, where do you think Bigfoot hides, and why are they hiding? And do you think there's more than one?
Yeah, I think they're like interdimensional. My crazy theory, you buckle up. Are you ready for my theory on Bigfoot? So my theory is that there are places on Earth where it's like there are two dimensions that like overlap each other, that go over each other. And so like, that's why there are like these hot spots where people see Bigfoot. So I think that like in those spots where, if you could imagine like two Earths that are touching together, but they're in different dimensions, that it's just like walking through, but it can cross through at those like at those points.
Is that why you think we haven't caught them?
Yeah. I think they basically can come in and out.
Well, lots of the people here are saying, Michelle saying, yes, they're interdimensional. That isn't a crazy theory, Chris, because, lots of people say that we are living the same lives in different dimensions in our different lives, but as who we are. So it could be that, you're sick in this dimension, but in the next dimension, you're not sick, or you're married in this dimension and you've got another type of life. So that is pretty cool that you think that. It didn't even occur to me to even think that way, but the theory isn't that far off from me. I believe there is different dimensions. I just never thought about it. Maybe that's why they're not catching them. I do believe, if anybody ever watched the show, it was called, it had the guy from, my brain doesn't.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. That guy. He was from Harvard. It was 5 seasons about the different dimensions. And he was, it began with an F, if anybody remembers it. It was pretty interesting. And it was about dimensions. He found a tear in the dimension, and he figured it out. He could get to the next dimension. So it was a pretty cool. And again, for everybody, I had COVID a couple months ago and a year ago, and it has wrecked my brain. And when I went to the neurologist, he said I might never get it back. But it does come back. It just doesn't come back like right on the spot. So I'll get the name of that for you. And I will also, now y'all want me to bring in, you all want me to bring in Glenn Atkins, and I will. I'll call him and see. But Chris, I ask you to join me on that one.
Yeah, I would love to.
Because he has been hunting him or them, whatever, for a long time. And I feel, if I remember the interview, you can go back on Blog Talk, and I've got to see if I can find it. He feels there's families.
Yeah.
So there's, and that's why I asked, do you think, and when you look at Bigfoot, do you think he's big? I mean, what do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's like a big animal, you know, like probably. And they say they're a lot like us. So just, you know, humans, but with a lot of hair. So, and bigger.
Well, hey, I could use more hair. I just don't want my body, you know, I just want it on my head. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think I'm going to do that. I believe that, especially in the fall, and for some reason, all these things are coming to light. And I guess it's because in October, we all say mid-October to the end of October that the veil is thinner, you know, from here to spirit. And I'm not sure I believe that, because I believe that spirit and us, the veil is thin always. It's whether we actually tap in. So I'm going to see if he'll come, and if you'll please join us, it would be great.
Of course.
When you were out there, and then we're going to go into questions. When you were out there, did you ever go looking for him?
Oh yeah, we went. Yeah, my brother and I, we went around the Olympics like a bunch of times. We went down to Mount Rainier where there's a bunch of sightings. Never saw anything, but yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You're always fascinating and amazing, and I'm hoping that the audience gets to know us better, because we do all have theories and we all think about things, and I just love when we can do that on the air. I want to wave to everybody and tell everybody we just adore you being here. We hope that you've all had fun, and we hope that we've helped some people along the way. We're going to be here next Monday, Chris. I'm going to be at my home.
I know. Can't believe it.
I'm like, what? I don't even know what my home looks like. I don't even know what it looks like. I haven't been there in 3 months. But thank you, because, you know, I just adore you and us doing the show. And I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you again for being with you. And thank you for being with us, everybody. We enjoy you. And without you all, we wouldn't be here. Have a fabulous week. And say hello to Chris's T-Rexes, because one of their names is Bob.
That's right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Chris.